Hey, I am live. Check that out. And there's nobody watching. Hi there. Hello to the big nobody. To the big nobody here. Hello. So I invited a couple of folks to come on. One was Agent of Doubt, and it appears he won't be able to make it, but he said that he will listen, whatever that means. So, and yeah, that's about it. So there's nobody here. It says one watching, and that's probably me. Um, so yeah. So I had stuff I wanted to discuss. Some of it I would really have rathered if I had done this with, a group of people, just so I could talk about it. Because talking to a camera in this kind of a format is just fucking weird. I don't like it. I don't like it. But it is what it is. This is what I've got. So I guess for right now, I can just, shoot the shit and wait and see if somebody comes in or if somebody wants to come in, or at the very least, if there is someone in the chat. But I am still the only person watching. I guess that's what I get for storming out a couple of weeks ago and not broadcasting again for weeks. So whatever. We'll wait a few more minutes, and if nobody comes in, I will just end this and delete it and fuck it. Fuck it. Maybe I'll go ahead and delete my channel too. This was a waste of time. Oh well. So, the name of the broadcast is Update News, Chat, and Complaints. So I've already complained a bit. Because, that's the reality is that's what I do best. So, yeah. Okay. So I've done that. Now what? Still only one watching. Whoa. That's most likely me. All right, so like I said, it's updates and news and all that kind of shit. So here is one little piece of news. I will be appearing on the goddamn podcast on a semi-regular basis, probably once or twice a week, as part of their regular host crew. So that's pretty cool. So even if Raven's Nest ends up failing, which I would not believe that it would until now. Now I'm guessing that's a lot more plausible than I thought before. But so even if Raven's Nest fails, I'll be appearing on the goddamn podcast. My next visit to the GDPC will be on Tuesday, 10 o'clock at night. I believe it starts at 10. So They are not underage anymore. So it's funny that you even mention them. But um, I did not plan out this show. Otherwise, I would have advertised it sooner. I would have had people on a panel. I was kind of hoping you would come on, AOD, um, but you flatly turned me down. Um, but I mean, I just threw on a face real quick and I didn't do a very good job. I'm like, I don't care. I'm not even wearing a bra. I'm like, fuck it. I don't even care. Don't care. But um yeah, no, I was saying I'm gonna be on the goddamn podcast. Um I had been showing up occasionally as a guest host. The Raven's Nest was even, took over the goddamn podcast broadcast one night a few weeks ago. And why are you sending me a message through Facebook when you know I'm in the middle of doing a show? So, okay, I have no idea. I have no idea what that's supposed to be. I don't look what I don't know what that's about. So, no idea what you're trying to say there. And it's a shame that you didn't try harder. Jeez. I'm just saying. Um. Anyway, yeah, Raven's Nest took over, and then you left. You dummy. The Raven's Nest took over the goddamn podcast, and that was cool. We had a good time with that. And like I said, I've been a guest host on there a few times, and TJ asked me to be a regular on the show, so I will probably be on there a lot more often. And no longer as a guest host, but actually as part of the crew or whatever the correct terminology would be. So there's that. There's the goddamn podcast. Um, what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I don't know. I don't know. And there's nobody watching again. This sucks. All right, Michael. There. I responded. And there's that piece of news. Another piece of news is it's not really news, but this is the first Raven's Nest that's been on in a while, and I didn't even do the intro. And I didn't do the intro because it's only me. Like I don't have Serious Mind here. I don't know if he's gonna come back at all, but I'll try. I don't have Michael here, but he wants to make jokes about my boobs in the comments, but he doesn't want to be on the show. So thanks. What are you, 12? So there's that. Um, and also the dinner club, and I don't know what's going on with the dinner club. I know Got That Funk has some stuff going on in his personal life, and I don't think he is in his usual home. I have no idea exactly what's going on, but the entire show is on hiatus, and if it comes back, I'll be back on there. But who knows? Who knows? We will wait and see. So, but until then, until we have answers for that, I'm going to try and come back and do the Raven's Nest again and hopefully get like Joe and, you know, agent of boobs over there. Try to get them on. And that would be good if that works out. And if not, I will be on the goddamn podcast. So, um, with Coctopus Prime and probably Dark Matter. Um, So that'll be good. That'll be fun. It's different, at least for now. What other news? What other news do I have? I have a date for surgery. For those of you who don't know, it's not. I'm not. I don't hide it. I will be having surgery, bottom surgery, and I have a date. That's a date is already set, January 11th, 2023. Um, and so there's that. So the ball with that is rolling forward. The balls are rolling. And so, yeah, so there you go. What else? Um, After that, I will be having implants. So, but instead of here, I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get another set right here. So I've got like the natural one. So then underneath, so that'll be interesting. Um, what else? What else? The one person that's watching and leaving and watching and leaving, if you're in here when I ask this, go ahead and leave an answer in the chat. What do you want to know about? And if you're not here, oh well. I got a feeling it's Agent of Doubt popping in and out. Oh, my furnace just kicked on because of course it did. Yeah, this sucks. This is lame. This is lame. You know what's really fucked up? You know what's really crazy? Back in the days of Blog TV, I would broadcast 20 hours a day. 20 hours a day. And I didn't have, we didn't have like, StreamYard, and we didn't have Zoom. We didn't have the platforms that we have today. We didn't have the technology that we have today. Um, and I would broadcast for 20 hours and I would talk all fucking day about all kinds of things. And people in the chat, they would give me stuff to work with. So it was like a give and take. So it's like one of the things about my broadcasts, one of the things about my streams that made them very popular, because they were, other than my boobs, was that it was like hanging out in the same room. You could talk to me and I would respond. Like you could type in and we would have an ongoing discussion. It was like a meeting of friends, and that we don't have that anymore. And the lag is so fucking bad on these fucking streams. It's so much worse than Blog TV was. And those kinds of hangout sessions don't really work the way they used to. And nobody does them anymore. And even when I do have people in here, I'm here like a fucking idiot with nothing to say, because every time I say anything, I get silence from whoever's watching, if anybody's watching. So I'm not a TV channel. This isn't a TV show. There's no script. I'm here to talk to you and you talk to me. If that can't happen, I don't know why I'm going to do this. Help me out here, people. This will be the second show in a row where I end up just rage quitting and leaving. Seriously, what is going on? One person watching, 13 minutes. Hi, hi, Christine. You're here, but you're not talking, and the lag is so fucking bad. As far as I know, you said, "Hey, I'm here 20 minutes ago." It could have been. I've only been. Wait, where's the thing? I've only been streaming for 14 minutes, but you know. Yeah, the lag is bad. The lag sucks. And it does make it harder. I understand that. I get that. Yeah, the lag sucks. needed to catch the poop. So I don't know. This really sucks. Like I said, I had sent Agent of Doubt an invite to be on. He said no. Um, I had sent Serious Mind a link to join, and as far as I know, he didn't see it yet, so I don't know. 10 years ago, streaming was better, right? Isn't that fucking ridiculous? It's fucking ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense because there's no reason why it should have been. Like, technology with everything has gotten better, except that. I don't know. I don't know. Getting fat. Look at that belly. Look at that belly. Jesus. The connection between YouTube and streaming, yeah. Yeah, I just, I don't know. Yeah. I am massive. I mean, I don't like when I say that because there are people who like are really massive. Then I feel bad about complaining about my own weight, but still, I don't like it. It sucks. It sucks. So there are things that I won't wear because I think I look ridiculous because of my weight, and that sucks. I mean, I waited all my life, to do this, and now I'm feeling I'm being restricted by something else, and it sucks. It sucks. And I was going to do so much about it this summer, and I started to. I actually had lost about 20 pounds, and I put half of it back on again. So, yeah, Christine, I understand that. I get that, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Look at her. She looks good, and she's heavy, and she's thick. She looks good, but me at the same weight or body shape, and it's like, I get it. Yep, same. I used to being skinny. I was you got to remember I'm almost 6 foot tall, so I'm tall. But I was 135 to 145 pounds almost my entire adult life. And now I'm about 200. That's a lot, you know? That's a lot of weight. And and it's all mostly right here. Look at that. It's like a butt. I got a front butt. God, it's so bad. It's so bad. Oh, I know. Oh, I do have a front butt. I do. I do. It is what it is. I'm working on it. Working on it, working on it. I'm failing working on it, but I'm working on it. I rushed getting ready for this. My eye makeup is all fucked up. Look like a cheap whore. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Oh, there's 3 people. Instead of getting the pancake mix. Right. That's funny. That is funny. It's okay. I did a rush job. I did a rush job. Whatever. I don't care. I mean, I obviously do care, but it's pixelated. So how pixel? I'm not pixelated, am I? I know I'm not here. I mean, am I pixelated on your end? I hope not. I don't. Okay, so Agent of Doubt. I don't know if you saw his comment, but it says those boobs were born in America, but they're underage. And then he took a screenshot of that and sent it to me, and I don't understand what it's supposed to mean. Like, I don't understand what that's about. So, Nadia Yvette Chambers. Wow, I haven't seen you in forever. How are you? It's been a very, 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 very long time. Very long time. Oh, is that what that was? Oh, I got you. I understand now. Hey, what's up, Vegas? How are you? You guys missed my crying. I cried. Well, not like tears crying, like I bitched and moaned for a good 20 minutes about nobody loving me and being fat and nobody loving me because I'm fat and I'm ugly. I'm fat and ugly and nobody loves me. I for 20 minutes and it continues. That's whining, not crying. That's true. So now I'm being picked on. That's why you skipped that part. Oh, you're a smart person. So, why would I don't understand why that would make you jealous? Whining is an integral part of womanhood. I don't know if I would say that out loud. You don't want people to know that. So, Vegas, what did you think of the goddamn podcast? Other than I don't get to speak a whole lot. I don't. When I'm on the goddamn podcast, I'm kind of quiet. I think my reactions to things say a lot more than my words do anyway. So if we don't bitch, we may explode. I've heard that. So for those of you who missed it, I will be having surgery January 11th. So yay. I'm gonna be a real girl. TJ, he talks a lot. It is hard to get a word in with TJ because he's just yeah. I'm trying to slow him down a bit, but whatever. It is what it is. Oh, I know, love. So I had this idea. I was telling Peach about it. You know what? I want to double check something first. I just want to make sure that. Wait, it was a movie where the guy goes around being annoyed and asking what a woman is, and no, they whine a lot. Ah, okay. Anyway, Okay, so I had this idea that somebody should open up like a transgender center where they help out with getting people um, hormones and therapists. Where it's like, I mean, there are already transgender centers, um, but I think there should be like one specifically um, where it's not connected necessarily to any particular hospital, where it's just a standalone kind of a thing, because most of the trans centers are connected to a hospital. Like the one that I'm dealing with, the doctor who's going to do my surgery, he is connected to the Robert Wood Johnson Center, and it's the Proud Center, your LGBT, you know, healthcare center. Anyway, I think that somebody should make a transgender center where they help with all that stuff and have advocates and all that kind of stuff, and they should call it the Blue Fairy Center. You guys understand the Blue Fairy? It says it's down to 2 viewers again. Did you people leave? Was I taking too long to get to it? Do you guys know what the Blue Fairy is? You're here and no idea. So the Blue Fairy is a character from Pinocchio. You're on shots from day one. Okay. So there you go. I want that too. Um, so the Blue Fairy is a character from Pinocchio, and it was who Pinocchio kept asking to grant his wish, that he wanted to be a real boy. So I just think that would be neat. The Blue Fairy Transgender Center. I never did take shots, Nadia. No injections. I've had pills. This right here is all from just pills. Um, Spironactolone and estradiol, whatever, estradiol, estrogen. So that's all. A lot of years, though. I mean, it took a lot of years to get this, but a lot of years. But I never did take the injections. And no reason for it. It just was never. It was never put forward as an option, and I always knew it was there, and I didn't ask for it. It's just I kind of went with the flow. It is whatever it is. You know what I mean? It was what it was. It is what it is, and so I mean, most likely because from the beginning I really didn't know what the options were, and as time went by, I was just like, well, I'm okay with what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? And I just kind of went from there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you. I don't know what you. Like the lag is so bad, I no longer know what you were replying to. So I said blue fairy. I don't know any. I don't know what that has to do with the pills. But okay, I'm confused. That's all. I wouldn't worry about it. I am easily confused. I don't have injections, so I don't know. I don't know how often they do them. Nadia, how often are injections injected? I don't know. I don't know. Because I mean, the pills I take every day. Every goddamn day. Blue pills. Ah, yes, estradiol is blue. That is true. They are blue. They are little blue pills. And they're not diamond shaped. That's a different blue pill. Yeah, I thought injections were weekly. I didn't know for sure. How many people? We have four. Well, I think there's four people. I don't even know anymore. I don't even know anymore. And now there's three. See, I don't know how reliable that is. Oh wait, there's what is this? Goddamn podcast. Uh oh, 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 that's something else. Okay, there's a different show. There's a different show. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, it says three here now also, but by the time you hear me say that, it might say something else because it's constantly changing here. I have no idea how many people are out there. YouTube could be lying to me. Those bastages. Man. It's not reliable. The count is less. But the count is less than the people chatting. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. So, but I mean, you don't know if the people are still here though either. Although it said there was nobody in here and Christine was here, so maybe it's not counting Christine. Oh, so bad. Oh my god. So what else? I know YouTube is like it's not like YouTube is new. They've been around a number of years now. Come on, YouTube, chop chop, get your shit together. Fucking YouTube. YouTube used to be so much fun. Now it's just like I don't know. It's like fucking work now. Now it's like work. And if you look down in the description, you will see a link to my Patreon. Okay, that was interesting. Um, Sorry about that. Yeah, it used to be fun. And now, yeah, all they only care about money and promoting bullshit. I think I saw an ad for bullshit earlier. It was like, hey, would you like some bullshit? Just stick around YouTube for a while. We've got plenty. And now it says three still. Interesting. Yeah, I was hoping I can get Joe on, but he hasn't been on Facebook at least for 5 hours. So I guess he's not coming in. And Michael Clifton is too cool to come in. Um, Vegas is Vegas. It is what it is. Maybe went for an early sleep. Maybe. I suppose that could be. I doubt it. But, he's probably involved in some gaming thing somewhere. He does that. Um, yeah. Whatever. It's all good. My feelings aren't hurt. What else? What else is going on, peoples? Wow, this sucks. I used to be so good at this. What happened? Did I get spoiled? Is that what happened? Oh, YouTube sent me a notification that I am now live on my channel. That was nice of you. Oh my. I would not have known. Wow. I'm impressed. Everything sucks. That's what's new. Oh, take it from me. I've been around a little bit longer than you. Everything has always sucked. This year's really, really bad. Well, yeah. Yeah. Digital art of me slaying a dragon. Like, slay. I don't know what that is. Mode of. I'm assuming it's hormones, but I don't know what it is. So I'm going to look it up. Oh. It fights narcolepsy. Oh. Imposter syndrome is very much a thing. A stimulant to fight. Yeah, that's what I was reading. Yeah. But it says if you're on estrogen, it may not be a good idea to be taking that medication. That's what I'm reading here. Not a good mix. So I'm assuming, of course, you're under a doctor's care. So, just that's what it says. So that's all. Because I will never say I know better than a doctor because, newsflash, I don't. I don't know. I don't know. My stomach is making all kinds of noise. It might be telling me to get food again. I think it is. I think I should listen to it. I do. I think I should have a bowl of Fruit Loops. Right? Food is very good. I love food. Food's good. Food is always there for me. You mean what if you're posing as an imposter? Hmm. Fruit Loops is totally food. What? What is this nonsense you're trying to sell? What? Get out of town with that craziness. I don't know. So, yeah. I I have. You tried them when you were a kid. They're sweet. Yeah, they're sweet. Um, so I have a real low tolerance for annoying things, and I get messages on Facebook all the time from cross dressers, and they drive me up the fucking wall. They do. They really do. It's just like, you know, hi, sissy. Are you dressed? Well, I mean, I'm wearing clothing, you know. And like, oh, I love getting dressed up. Oh, are you going to a party? Is it like an office function? Like, what do you mean? Well, it's my day off, and I spend the day in front of the mirror getting dressed all day. It takes me 15 minutes, if that, not even, to get dressed. And they're like, oh, you don't like dressing? What do you mean? I get dressed every day. What do you mean? Yeah, it's still happening. It's still happening because I keep getting friend requests um, from cross dressers, and I don't always know that they're a cross dresser. There's this one right dude, profile picture. He's got a beard and he's real tough looking and everything else, and then he starts sending me photos of himself in panties, and it's kind of like grotesque, and it's just like I didn't ask for this. Number one. Number two, stop. So, oh, Nadia, I get that. Yeah, but I mean, that kind of defeats the purpose of taking the estrogen, though, no? I mean, like I said, I'm not going to second guess a doctor, so. Right, like, okay, you do you, but others do their thing too. And that's fine. But it's like just because somebody might believe that I identify as a sissy or a cross dresser or whatever, just because they believe I do doesn't mean I am. And just because they have a thought in their heads about what is considered normal to them doesn't mean that's for everybody else. Like, I don't have an issue with people and how they identify and what they do and their whole thing, but that's their thing. It's got nothing to do with me. And it's such a weird, creepy thing. I am in a trans shit posting group, and there are all of these trans women in there who are always posting about how much they're in love with their dicks, and it's like that's fine, I guess. Do you know what I mean? I mean that's fine, and I just feel when like those posts on Facebook and everybody starts taking part in it, so it keeps showing up on my feed. I feel like, am I really supposed to be in this group? Like you're a trans woman, you identify as a woman, and all this other stuff, but man, you're really proud of your dicks. Um, that just seems weird to me. And again, it doesn't invalidate them at all. Just seems weird to me. So I'm just like, I'm going through this whole thing, and That's going. I'm like, I can't wait to get rid of that. So like the idea of like discussing it online with a bunch of other like trans women about how great it is and whether or not it can get hard. eh, that's just not something that even makes sense to me. But it's like whatever, okay. I don't know. I don't know. Christine, I think, and I don't take progesterone, so I don't know, but I think with progesterone it does, but I don't know. My endocrinologist said that progesterone is a waste of time, that it doesn't do anything, but there's a lot of anecdotal evidence saying that that's completely wrong. So I have no idea. Well, and that's something else. So yeah, Christine, that's part of what bothers me about it is what is like like it sounds like I'm invalidating other people's identity and how it is that they want to move through the world. But the whole idea of a dick on a woman is that's a fetish. And for a group of women who are constantly talking about not being fetishized, they do an awful lot of setting themselves up to be fetishized. And that just seems odd to me. You know, I am not your fetish, but take a look at my girl dick. It's like, what? I don't know. And again, that could be, Christine, that could be. I mean, and yeah. Yeah, I like, I don't like to, it just doesn't seem, it just seems strange. That's all. It's like if I were to say, I just don't want to be noticed for my boobs, but have you seen them? Do you know what I mean? It would be like, really? So, I don't know. And like I said, it just makes me feel like, am I in the right group? Should I be in this group? Because it kind of makes me uncomfortable. It's the fuck are you girls talking about? Why are you talking about your dicks? I hate mine, and it's big. I hate it. Um, yeah, I actually know a few trans women that had FFS and nothing else. And it's like, okay, are you going to go further? And that's the thing is, it's like, number one, does it matter? And like, I guess it really doesn't. It's not up to me to police how other people identify and how they're comfortable with their bodies. But again, it just seems kind of weird. I want to be, I'm a woman. I want to transition my body so it matches who I am inside, but I'm not going to change anything about it. And again, if that works for you, fine. It just seems weird to me. That's all. At the end of the day, is what is this? Right. Thank you. Right. Thank you very much. That's bingo. Bingo, 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 bingo. Yes. But you have to remember also, though, a big thing in a lot of trans circles is that dysphoria is not needed. It is not a requirement of being trans, which is something else I think is weird. Because then how do you know? Like your dysphoria is what tells you from the beginning that there's a problem. Do you know what I mean? That, you know, if you don't have dysphoria, then what is the basis of your transition? If it's just I want to be, well, that's not the same as being trans. And then people say, well, you must be a trans medicalist. And it's like, well, no, not really, because I don't believe you have to transition at all. It's just what is the basis? What are you basing, the fact that you're trans? What are you basing that on if you don't have dysphoria? I don't understand what you could possibly base it on, but I am not everybody. I don't live in everybody's skin, so all I can do is wonder. Yeah, full reassignment or not, it is still an IRL gender swap. Well, that's true. That on as far as like your interactions with society, like I haven't had any surgeries yet, and on the day to day in my interactions with society, 24/7, you know, I'm a woman. I mean, because it's not reliant on surgery. So I don't disagree with that. I don't, Christine. It just does seem weird. And yeah, going back to what Redneck Atheist said, so like when I say when I transitioned, like I haven't had any surgeries, but when I transitioned, when I went from presenting um, on a daily basis, when I went from presenting from a man to a woman, the way society reacted to me changed very quickly. Um, I don't know if you guys remember Divinity back in the YouTube days. Trans shit, yes, Vegas. Trans shit is very complicated. It's very complicated. Um, but like as soon as I changed how I present myself to the world reacted very quickly. Divinity, from those of you who may remember her from YouTube, on Facebook, she goes, her name is Odie. I think Christine, you probably friends with her. She had said to me when I was talking about things that had happened a year ago, when I had first transitioned, she was just like, "Wow, that was fast." I was like, "Yeah, yeah." I mean, it was fast, and I don't think that's bad. I think it just I wasn't prepared for how quick the change would be, because the world very quickly started treating me as the woman that I was presenting. And it just happened so quickly. And I just wasn't prepared for it. And like I said, I don't think it's a bad thing. I actually think it's a good thing, um, because that means that overall society is getting comfortable with the idea that this happens. You know what I mean? Um, there's always going to be the Ron DeSantis's of the world, um, but I think overall society is more understanding, and that's why um, the reaction I got back was so quick. That is true, Christine. that is true. I mean, there's like turfs or just say stuff like, you can't be a woman when you don't understand, um, the things that women have to go through and the misogyny and all of that kind of stuff. And it's just like, really? I don't? Like trans misogyny is so much worse. It's just like every time I leave the house, I could be in physical danger. If I use the women's room, somebody can get upset. They can call the cops on me. If I use the men's room, I can get beat up. I mean, I can't even like piss in a public bathroom um, because it's so dangerous. And I'm in New fucking Jersey, for fuck's sake. It's just like, oh, well, you can't be a woman because you don't bleed. And it's just like there are a lot of cis women who don't bleed. Are they not women? Is that your standard for whether or not somebody is a woman? Really? That's fucking ridiculous. I do understand. I mean, there are people that are like, what don't they understand, about like the transition, blah, blah. No, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. I think if anybody says they don't understand why TERFs think the way they do, I think they're full of shit. What's worse, being a her or an it, right? And it is so much worse. But I mean, there is there's a local like farm where they have like a little coffee shop. They have like this big barn that's open to the public, like a farmer's market, but it's not really a farmer's market. I guess it qualifies. But they have like little tables and stuff, and they have coffee. And a lot of the older guys in the town go there in the morning for coffee, and they just sit around and talk about their John Deeres and their cases and their Caterpillars, and they got their baseball caps on, and they don't look like they've showered in 50 weeks or so. And they talk. And I have a friend in town, trans woman, who goes in there all the time for coffee, and she knows that she's not welcome there, but she goes anyway. And I mean, I kind of admire that. But I don't know if I would have the strength to do it. But she goes in there and the men whisper, and they'll say, and loud enough for her to hear, and they'll say stuff like, "Oh, there it is," and "Oh, it's back again," and it's just like, damn, girl, I wouldn't do it. I mean, I hear somebody call me an it, and it's not like a one-on-one kind of thing, where it's a group of people. I'm out. I'm not going back. So I don't know. Stephen James, really? Come on. I know you're a troll. I know, and I'm not gonna like kick you out or anything unless you're being a dick. You know that. You know how that goes. But I know, because I know you from the goddamn podcast. I know you're kind of trollish, but come on. You knew about the restroom debate. Everybody knows about the restroom debate. It's made national fucking news that trans people can't piss in public. Oh, well, I love you too. I love you. I love you, Stephen James. I love you. I really do. I really do. All right. So, what do you want to ask me? You're asking me something? Ask me. Ask. Ask. I hate this shirt. My God. My boobs look great in it, but my belly looks so big. What is this? Somebody. What's going on here? Oh, Peach's mom commented on something. Oh, okay. That's nice. Anyway. So yeah, Vegas. It obviously is far worse, but you knew that. Turfs scare you less than fundies. I don't know. Did you want to ask me something? Chicken dicks. Happy International Friendship Day. Oh, same to you. What the fuck kind of question is that? Right, that's not a question. That's not a question. That's not a question. So, my belief when I first came out, when I first began to present as well, my belief was that it was going to be me and Peach, against. Yeah, turfs are way worse. It was going to be me and Peach against the world. The way it was when we first started dating, when we became a couple, when it was just like me and Peach was like against everybody. What's your favorite food to eat? I don't know. It kind of depends. I like Fruit Loops, and I will have some tonight. So anyway, but anyway, that was my belief that it was going to be me and Peach, and that I was setting myself up for um, very limited amount of um, being out in public or having friends and doing all that stuff. And what has happened has been over the last few months. No, not Peachy Keen. My girlfriend, her name is Peach. She's a YouTuber. Her channel is The Peach. Actually, I think she changed it to Peach Braxton. Um, but yeah, she's a YouTuber, pretty big YouTuber actually. At one point, doesn't make a whole lot of videos anymore, and I wish she would start making them again because she's really good. Anyway, so yeah, I was like, it was gonna be me and Peach against the world, and it wasn't. And over the last several months, I have all of these women, cis women in my life that have basically like taken me under their wings. It's just buying me gifts, doing me favors, just being there to support me. I have a woman who every week to every couple of weeks she asks me to give her a ride. She doesn't need a ride. She has a car, but she asks me to give her a ride and to a place that's like 15, 20 minutes away. And then she gives me $100 for gas. And there's no reason for it. The reason is that she wants to help me and she knows that I'm mostly like any money I get like that, where I get money on my own because I don't work. I'm a stay at home mom, which is why like Patreon. If you want to become a patron, my Patreon link is down in the description. Um, so, I'm a stay-at-home mom and I buy all of my own, makeup and clothing and all that stuff, all of my hair getting done, all that stuff. I pay for all that on my own and I don't have an income. So figure out how I do that. I do it through the kindness of friends, and I do it through giving people rides, and I do it through OnlyFans. I do have an OnlyFans and Patreon. So if you want to give to me on Patreon, please do so. It's how I buy my girl stuff. Anyway, um, um, so yeah, I mean, I've all of these friends, all these female friends, all of these cis women friends. Um, you know, one she got me a tattoo. Look at that tattoo. Look at my ink. Isn't that cute? She was just like, "Hey, let's go get tattoos." I said, "I can't afford to get a tattoo." She's like, "I got you." Tattoo. um, and we go shopping. We do all kinds of stuff. And they've been really helpful as far as like my self-esteem and putting myself out there. Isn't that cool? It's so cute. I love it. I do. I really love it. Um, yeah, Stephen, I am a stay-at-home mom. I've got two small kids. Like they're small. They're toddlers yet. Well, one of them is a toddler. The other's almost 5 years old. So that's not a toddler anymore, is it? So he's the older one. So yeah, I mean, I can't just like drive or DoorDash. Like I am the primary caregiver of children at home. I can't just run out and get a job because then there's nobody with the kids. And I'm not going to make enough money on DoorDash to pay for childcare. So that's actually the biggest reason that I am a stay-at-home mom is I can't go out and get a job because I'm not going to make enough to pay for childcare. So anyway, and it's really rewarding. I love raising my kids. Love it. I love being a mom. I love it. So, um, yeah, no, these women, they just help me out with stuff and their support system and they're fantastic. And they've done a lot for my self-esteem and for my comfort levels as far as being out and you know, just living. because it is intimidating to go out into the world looking like this and sounding like this. It's intimidating. It's scary. Um, but they have helped me make it a lot easier. So, for wine, beer, or weed, I don't drink or smoke. We can never have enough solidarity among women. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, I will like jokingly say things like when I was a boy, or like, um, when I used to be a man. And my one friend Genevieve, she'd be like, "Sweetheart, you were never a man." Never a man. It's like, I know, I'm playing, but I mean, it's been good. It's been good. Yeah, exactly. Redneck atheist. Exactly. Exactly. It's just not gonna happen. With two kids working, me to work full time with two kids, it's not gonna happen. Did you really? I've been wanting to look into that. I don't think my insurance will cover it though. My insurance will cover breast implants though, so I'm really jazzed about that. Um, People are like, oh, but your boobs are big enough, and it's more about shape than it is size. I want to go a little bit bigger, but you can't see because I'm obviously wearing a shirt. But yeah, yeah, their shape is. Yeah. You're sorry that men have very little rights. I'm just sorry men have very little rights. What the fuck are you talking about? New York State covers it? Really? I don't know. I'll have to check. I will have to check. I know FFS is not covered. I think there might be some things, but most facial surgery is not covered. So, uh, no, Stephen James. I don't. No, I don't think so. No. God, you're a fucking weirdo. I didn't say that was bad. I'm just saying that you're a fucking weirdo. Christine, this is the United States. Christine, we've known each other a long time, and if my top was not a giveaway, um, I live in the United States of America. You know, the beacon of freedom and hope. Yeah, it is what it is. I know. New Jersey does cover a lot more than some states. Um, I, yeah, some states are bad. So, um, yeah, I mean, New Jersey could be better. Um, Washington State, I believe, like covers everything. Like Sierra, I think is, you know, all her stuff is covered. Um, Elena Fox, I believe her stuff is covered through her insurance. I think it's state law there that their insurance covers certain things. Um, well, yeah, Sierra's in the army too. And that insurance is going to be through the federal government, which is probably going to give her better stuff. So yeah, yeah. I don't know what the army. The army does cover a lot of stuff. I don't know what it covers. I don't know. She would know, obviously. When I was in the service, when I was in the service, nobody covered trans stuff really. It was a while ago. I don't have a point of view on hermaphrodites. My point of view is that they're people. Isn't that all that really counts? I don't know what you mean. Stephen James, what are you asking? Do they turn you on? Is that what you're saying? Are you telling me that you're turned on? Hi, Carl. I don't know. Yeah, POV, point of view, LOL. That's funny. I don't know. You're not a virgin. My God. Well, actually, I haven't seen you in chats. I guess that's possible. I don't know. Mm. Oh, well, thank you. Even with all my fat belliness. I have people are so fucking weird. People are so fucking weird. What's going on here? Let's see. So if you, oh, I didn't post it to that Facebook. I did it on my other Facebook. I don't know. Do you know anyone who likes the way that they lost their virginity? I have never asked people how they feel about their loss of their V card, and whether or not they were happy with how it worked out. I've never had that conversation, so I have no idea. we're all fucking weird. Um, so no, I don't know of anybody walking around going, "Damn, I lost my virginity in a kick-ass way." I This is also fucking strange. uh, could you imagine, right? I agree. Redneck atheist, I agree. You've always heard that gays are upset about losing their virginity? Hmm. I've never heard that. I don't know. I don't know. I've never had that conversation with people about their. Stephen James, are you happy with how you lost your virginity? Come on, answer. Chop chop. Yeah, but he's not still a virgin. Stephen James has like 9 kids. Yeah, Nadia. Exactly. This is so fucking strange. I attract winners. I really do, Vegas. I don't know. It's my fabulous boobs. Well, I will be sure to bring that up on the next goddamn podcast, Stephen. I'm actually going to take screenshots of the chat just so I can show everybody. You don't mind, do you? Grinder war stories. I'm actually on Grinder. I am on Grinder. I get hit up by lots of guys, and I flirt with them a while, and then when they're like, "Oh, can we meet?" I'm like, "Yeah, no." It's like, no, sorry, no. Yes, Vegas, yes. Ah, so fucking weird. Hey now. Oh, I don't have a. If you're talking to me, I don't have a boyfriend. No, I have a girlfriend. We've been together 12 years. Have a couple of kids, have a house. She's all kinds of awesome. Redneck atheist, 15. You found yourself at a college party, got extremely drunk. Not sure if it was a pity fuck or the girl just thought you were cute. It could have been both. Why not both? Um, I was 16. So I was 16. Now that's, depends. Like, yeah, I won't get into details. Never mind. Just saying. Just saying. Like the first time I was with a woman, I was 16. The first time I was with a man, I was 18. That means Block TV has been gone forever. I'm confused. I'm so confused. Christine, my 16-year-old experience was not very good. Um, I was really, really bad at it. Uh, so I need to organize a Breakfast Club revival. I hear you. I do. And I mean, I understand that that's coming from a place of love. Um, but technically, the Breakfast Club is no longer my moniker. That moniker, as I'm sure you know, was taken over by Got That Funk. And right now, and he renamed it the Dinner Club, and it is right now on hiatus. And I don't know if and when it's coming back. I don't know what's going on with that. I wish I knew. Um, and if I still felt like I had um, ownership, I guess, of the name, um, I would take it back and try to create a revival. I would. Um, but I gave up the Breakfast Club a long time ago. And, Got That Funk has done so much more with it than I did. Um, in the long run, anyway. Um, and It is something that I am very proud of. Because it was for years, it was such a success, but it's not mine anymore. So I will try to see if Paul is going to come back with it or not. We'll see. No, Vegas, nothing I would freak out about. I love how you are solid and crazy and morphable. Okay. I don't know what that even means. You don't know if you were with what? If I was with my someone's brother. Oh my God. No idea. No idea. I'm so confused. I don't know. No idea. Oh my God. I have no idea what's going on. I am lost. I see words. I have no idea what's going on. The fuck is morphable? Wait, wait. I gotta I gotta see if that's a is that a really is that a word? Wow. No. It's not even a word. I mean, with that spelling anyway. If you spell it with an A, it's morphable model. Morphable model vary their shape in accordance with the target face to reconstruct 3D face model. So that word is misused here. God. Mhm. Oh my God. Fucking people. Oh, wow. This is some great shit. Solid and crazy too, which I haven't been solid in a year. I'm just saying. Just throwing that out there. Crazy. Okay, I'll give you that. Lies. The topic tonight is updates and news and chat and complaints. That's because that's the name of the video, right? That's the name of the chat. So that's what it is. So I gave the news, I gave the updates, I complained, and now here we are chatting. So I can't even either. I can't odd. I just can't. Um I mean, Carl, if you would like, I could go over the news and the updates if you want. You know, that's general insanity. Yeah. Um, yeah. You know. It is what it is. No, you're just asking. Okay. All right. That's fine. That's fine. Go over it again. Stephen James, I was talking about before about how I am now a regular part of the crew. I'm a regular host on the goddamn podcast. Um, if you watch the goddamn podcast, I know Stephen James obviously does. When you watch it, this TJ is up in the corner, and underneath his picture it says, Tejas, right? It's TJ. And then underneath him, that's where I am. It says guest. Well, moving forward, that guest is going to be gone. It's not going to say guest. They're putting my name in there because I am now a regular part of the show. I have been adopted by the goddamn podcast family, so which is pretty cool. So there's that, Stephen James. That was the news. That was actually the update. The news is that January 11th, I will be going into the hospital for surgery. So, and I'm really excited and scared and nervous and jazzed about that because I will be going in like this and I will be coming out reconfigured. Speaking of guests, yes, what the hell happened with that Buck dude? He ignored me. Buck Angel ignored me and then proceeded to interview with Blair White many times where both of them lied about transgender medicine in the United States. They lied. They straight out lied. Provable lies. Real life, actual bullshit lies. Big ones. Like, not like little stuff, like big stuff. Stuff that would piss people off. Stuff that would upset people. So fuck Buck Angel. Adopted by the goddamn podcast? It's almost a tongue twister, I guess. Okay, Stephen. That's nice. Tell us true. What's my view on hormone blockers for minors? I actually think anything with anyone under 18 years old is a case by case basis, or like should be, my opinion. I also think if there is no permanent damage to someone, I don't see what the issue is with using hormone blockers. We're not talking 8-year-olds, you know. So hormone blockers for young teenagers, kids who are saying that they're trans, who aren't old enough to do some of the other stuff, in order to prevent their body from developing in ways that are going to be harmful to them if they do transition. Puberty blockers are smart. So, can that create problems for some children, whether or not they transition when it comes time to do it? I suppose for a small percentage it does. But it's better than the alternative. And unfortunately, with some of these issues, with some of these things that we're talking about, the road that brings the least harm, in my opinion, is the best one. And with puberty blockers, that is the path with the least amount of harm. So, right, hormone blockers are not the same as hormone replacement. Puberty blockers just prevent your body from cementing either one way or the other. It blocks puberty. And if 13-year-old kid decides that they're trans or whatever they say that they're trans, they give them puberty blockers so their body does not progress. That way they have time to socially transition. They have time to see the doctors and do everything they have to do, blah, 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 blah. And if they decide when they're 16, they decide, you know what, I don't want to do this. They just take them off the puberty blockers and puberty picks up again as it normally would. So it doesn't really harm much. I know a lot of people who are like, against it will say things like, well, then their genitals aren't going to develop as they would have normally without. And if it's, a boy who was gonna transition to a girl and doesn't, they end up not doing it, that their penis would end up being smaller. It wouldn't be as large as it would. And all I can think to say to that is, are we really now putting the size of somebody's junk ahead of their happiness about who they are as a person? Like, are we reducing people to genitals now? Is that what we're doing? Because if that's what we're doing, that's kind of fucked up. So puberty was confusing. Puberty is confusing for everybody. And I think if you're trans, I think it's even more confusing. Um, the thing is being that I am trans, I have no idea how to compare my experiences with somebody, who's not. Well, that's hilarious. Agent of Doubt, that's hilarious. So it's like, okay, so I've already been to the beach and obviously in a woman's bathing suit. Not this year though, last year. And I posted some pictures, not a bikini, a tankini. I figured, that's what my body can, handle without being laughed at. But I do intend to lose about 50 pounds between now and next summer. And I will have surgery in January. So next summer is I've already scheduled next summer as Hot Girl Summer. And Peach and I will be on the beach, and I am going to do everything I can do to get in a bikini. So, okay, so a hermaphrodite is not trans, Stephen James. Just a little quick lesson here. Hermaphrodite is not a trans person. So different things. It's not the same thing. But I believe you knew that. So, I like that. The January 11th unerection. I haven't been solid in a year. Just saying. The January 11th unerection. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's hard. It used to be easier to lose weight. But once you knock out the testosterone, it becomes a lot harder to drop weight. So people who like pick on women when they put on weight, fuck you people, you're awful. It is harder, so much harder to lose weight when you don't have testosterone. It is so much harder. Stephen James, I don't care what you do with your dick. Like, I don't care what you do with your dick. Just keep it away from me. It's your dick. As long as the person you're with is an adult and a human being and can give consent, do whatever the fuck you want with your dick. None of my business. I don't care. I'm not running around telling you what I do with mine, except for the fact that I'm, having it cut off. Other than that, conversation's gone a bit flaccid. So way back in the day when I used to take my shirt off on live streams and I used to squish my boobs together, Redneck Atheist was always a regular in those shows. But it's not quite reversed either. It's reconfigured, Christine. It's reconfigured. Anyway, Redneck Atheist was always a regular in those shows. Always had a lot to say about my boobs. He thought I forgot. I didn't, because I don't. I remember everything. Right, Stephen. Right. Every one of you have seen everything. Yeah. Most of you have. Yeah, it's a lot of reconfiguring. Because they take the testes and they toss them over their shoulder. Presumably there's somebody back there to catch them, but they throw them over their shoulder. And then they use the scrotum to create labia. And then they take the head of the penis and they reconfigure that so the sensitive side is facing like outward, and they use that to make the clitoris. So, they will use the part of the shaft to make the vaginal cavity. So, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of reconfiguring. Yeah. So, they obviously don't use everything, but there's a lot of conversation, peak trends, but there is a lot of reconfiguring, and there is a friend of mine, Nikki Firesnow, who has been on the Breakfast Club, and we have both said that we would go on each other's shows. But she recently, about 12 weeks ago, had surgery, and he's still talking about a lot of pain, and I feel really bad. So I am having it done in the States. I'm having it done in my state. So they did you the same way. I don't know what you're talking about. It is amazing. My doctor, when I went for my consultation, we sat down. I had to go into Manhattan because he's a Manhattan doctor. We sat down and in front of his computer, and he was showing me examples of his work. So I spent about 15, 20 minutes with him, just looking at pussies. And it was just like, oh yeah, wow, they were actually pretty good. They looked natural, which was cool. At Mount Sinai, in October 2019. My surgery is going to be done at Robert Wood Johnson's St. Barnabas campus, I guess that's what they call it, in Livingston, New Jersey, which is about an hour from home. I will be in the hospital for nearly a week. Surgery takes about 5 to 7 hours, and I'll be in the hospital for about a week. And then after I get out for 6 weeks, recovery for what I'm having done is about 6 weeks, and I can't lift the children, so I have to get help. So there's a couple of days a week when Peach goes into the office that I have to have somebody to come in and give me a hand. So, hey, Vegas, you've never seen it, but Christine has. I think it deserves a 21 gun salute. Actually, it deserves a 42 gun salute because you know. Yeah, the trumpet playing, right? Yeah, taps, the whole thing. Yeah, scary. Yes, terrified. I mean, I've seen trans women are like, yeah, no, I'm looking for. No, they're scared. Um, it's it's scary. So. Christine, that smiley face is in response to saying that you've seen it. Yeah, that's right. You have seen it because you painted it. What am I thinking about? There's a painting. There is a painting of my penis. So media says it's easier being trans. What's easier? I don't understand. What could possibly be easier? That's right. You've seen it on Cam 4 too. Mm, that's right. That was an awkward day. Yeah, exactly. Right? Here. A fad. I I don't even know what. It's a fad. It's a thing. It's like when everybody's like, oh, there are people that they're just claiming to be trans, and I suppose that there's a certain number of people who are like, yeah, I'm trans, but they never go on hormones. They never have surgery. They never change how they present to the world. That they just say it. And I suppose, yeah, there's a certain number of people. They tend to be 15, and it tends to last maybe a year. Um, But if you're talking about somebody who has gone to, one, two, three different therapists, right? Who are seeing an endocrinologist, um, and their regular doctor, and that they have now been prescribed medication, um, that multiple professionals have said that they should be on. Um, if you're talking about those people, who are making appointments to have, knives cut into their body, that's not a fad. Like just like making that claim, and I know that claim has been made, is just absolutely fucking bizarre. Like how painful it is to lose family. I haven't spoken to my brother in over a year, um, because he's just not having it. My only brother, right? That's he's just not having it. Um, I've heard nothing but bad things come out of his mouth about it. So that's like not even something that's ever going to happen. You know, um, my mother has said that she will not accept it. And I'm not 51 years old. I'm not looking for permission from my mother. Um, but at least acceptance would have been nice. She continues to call me, her son. She continues to call me a man. She continues to call me by my dead name. Um, I mean, people, as part of a fad, that's not something that people would want to put up with. So, right, exactly, Vegas. Yes. Oh man, guys, guess what I'm gonna do? Yeah, I've decided to turn my entire life upside down, put myself in physical danger when I go out in public, possibly lose my job, my career, lose my family, have to go to doctors and possibly have surgery because it sounds like fun. That's the claim that's being made when people talk about, oh, it's a fad, or it's a trend, trenders. And like I said, there are a certain amount of people, but you're talking, the extreme minority who are 15. I mean, when I was in high school, I went through a bi phase. I went through, all these different things. And kids do that kind of stuff and they say that kind of stuff because they're looking for their tribe, right? They're looking for where they belong. They're looking for what resonates with them. And they're going to try all kinds of stuff and say all kinds of stuff. Um, and that's normal and that's natural. And like people shouldn't freak out when they do that. So, well, it depends on what you mean by choice, right? It's a choice to go through with surgery. That's a choice. I am choosing to do that. But that choice is based on very real realities, things that I have to live with and deal with, things that, have been part of my life, all of my life, that has led me to make this choice. That's not the same thing as, oh wow, today I think I'm gonna have my dick cut off. That's like people say that being gay is a choice, right? I've never met a gay man who would honestly, seriously say that they chose to be gay. People don't choose those things. What they choose is to be public about it. What they choose is to speak about it. I mean, you could be like gay and never, ever, ever, ever have sex or sleep with somebody of the same gender, but you're still gay because it isn't about the action. It's not about choosing the action. It's about who you are inside. And as Vegas said, dysphoria is not a choice. Actually, Stephen James, there are people who choose to get body parts amputated. Um, and I, off the top of my head, I don't know what it is. There is a medical term for that. I don't know what it is. And why they do that, I don't know. I don't know. Um, do I think it's strange? Yes. Am I going to judge them over it? Yes. Do I think somebody should stop them? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to say that I'm qualified to know that. And because I don't think I'm qualified to answer that question, I'm not going to answer that question. Because there are people who are qualified to answer that question, just not me. So, has this show been helpful? Amputation as a fetish. It's similar to thinking dra. It's I am so confused. Typo. Well, there you go. Quick Google search. Hey, Luxord 2654. Known as body identity thank you. Yes. Body identity integrity disorder. A healthy limb. Yep. Yep. I believe it, Christine. I do. I'm a treasure among the YouTube community. Well, in the description, you will see a link to my Patreon. Please become a patron if I am such a treasure. Hi, Luxord. If I am such a please become a patron. Hey, what's up, you? You have beautiful hair, dude. You really do. See, this is why I like Vegas. Yeah, here's the thing. The debate over somebody can be recruited into the LGBT community, um, that debate was settled in 1974. It's only coming up now because people want to scare people about trans people. And somehow they think that drag queens and trans people are the same thing. Like, I've never understood how people can have a problem with drag queens. I mean, having a problem with trans people makes more sense to me because it is scary, because it is confusing, because I mean, somebody's having their dick cut off. You know what I mean? Or they're having their tits cut off. That's some scary sounding stuff. Um, but a drag queen, it's a clown. Drag queens are clowns. They're clowns. And like that's not even a put down. That's what they are. That their job is to make you laugh, is to give you a good time, is to make you feel good. I mean, you know, do I think sometimes they're a little overboard? Yeah, that's kind of what they do, you know? Um, it's not a fetish. Maybe for some, I don't know. But I mean, they're clowns. They have names like head of lettuce, visa declined, you know, cookie dough. There's a popular one around me in my neck of the woods. Later, Christine, go eat some Fruit Loops. So, um, you know, head of lettuce. It's supposed to be funny. That's the idea. In 1974, Carl, in 1974, homosexuality was changed in the DS4 manual. I think it was the DS4 at the time. Like in previous manuals, DS manuals, homosexuality was listed as a mental disorder, and in 1974, it was listed. They changed that to make it so it's not a mental illness. So, yogurt. Okay, yogurt's good too. Enjoy, Christine. There's a problem with the sexual nature of what groups? What groups? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And yeah, Arlen, dick cut off equals something seen as mutilation rather than an actual medical procedure used for your well-being. Um, so, um, yeah, well, I mean that they see it that way. They only see it that way because they choose to see it that way, because they want to paint it that way. They want to present it that way in order to scare people. I mean that's the purpose of presenting it in that way. I mean, the same way that they do with abortion, right? Abortion isn't a medical procedure. It isn't reproductive health care. It's killing babies. I mean, that's the entire purpose of presenting it the way they do, is to change the way people see it. So, what is the problem with what sexual nature of what groups? If you're talking about drag queens, I don't know if I know enough about most drag queens to tell you about their sexual nature, because you don't have to be gay to be a drag queen. There's nothing sexual about being a drag queen. Okay, Vegas. Oh, and you want to talk about like sexual like groups, right? The sexual nature of these groups. every single person alive, right? Every single person alive is a sexual being, right? We reproduce sexually. It's sexual reproduction. Every person alive is a product of sex. Every person alive will eventually have sex of some kind with someone, usually, sometimes less, sometimes more. All of us are sexual beings. So, like, to talk about like the sexuality of any group is just stupid. Like it ignores the fact that all demographics are sexual in nature. I don't know Benny Boy. I don't know what you're. I don't know what that is. Oh, Ben Shapiro. Okay, yeah, yeah. There are straight drag queens, and there are straight drag kings. Um, it is unusual only because of the way that straight people have, convinced themselves that only gay people do that. But that just isn't the case. That's not based in any reality. That's a fantasy that people like to paint in order to separate themselves from a group that they think is icky because they don't like how people have butt sex because it's icky, icky, icky. So I love the way you discounted the argument. What argument? What did I discount? I don't know what you're talking about, Stephen James, you dumb fuck. Seriously, how am I not supposed to believe? How am I supposed to believe that you're not a troll when you say shit like this? The fuck are you talking about? Save the exclamation points. Save them and explain yourself. Thank you. Sorry, somebody's asking me a question about Hot Girl Summer. A wardrobe malfunction, because that is important. Wearing a bikini without a wardrobe malfunction. I think it's great. It's entertaining. Wait, what? What's great? What's entertaining? I'm so confused. What did I miss? Miss Doubtfire. Mrs. Doubtfire. Mrs. Doubtfire was not a drag queen, nor trans, nor a crossdresser, actually. Mrs. Doubtfire was a costume that somebody wore in order to spend more time with their children. It's not the same. Yes, a disguise. A disguise. And that's not trans, nor is it drag. It's something completely different. So, no, Mrs. Doubtfire, no, that's different. That's something else. Stephen James. I don't have camel toe. No. I have moose knuckle. For now, anyway. For now. Not after January 11th. Oh, it's too funny. Bam. Bam, ba, bam, ba, bam. What else is going on? I've got multiple screens. Just, if you're wondering why I'm looking away, It's a different screen. So I got like, the whole thing here, and like I'm taking over the world. It is so hot. My boobs are sweating. Boob sweat sucks, in case you didn't know. Just saying. Yeah, I mean that's what I figured you were doing. But yeah. Yeah, that's a different thing. Like, okay, so there's like I've spoken about this before. Not so a little bit tonight, but I've spoken about it at length on other broadcasts. So you have drag queens, right? Drag queens are men who identify as men wearing exaggerated women's clothing and makeup in order to entertain and make money. They're basically clowns. It's all fun and yeah, it's not supposed to be sexual, although in adult environments, there'll probably be sexual jokes. And they're typically pretty good. I enjoy drag queens, um, but they're clowns, right? Then you have cross dressers, and cross dressers are men who identify as men and they wear women's clothing. And there's typically two kinds of cross dressers. There's cross dressers who cross dress because they like the way they feel in women's clothing, they like the materials, it might turn them on. It's whatever, they just enjoy it. They're fairly harmless. Then there's the other kind of cross dresser, which is somebody who identifies as a sissy. And for sissies, it's all sexual. They're men who identify as men but dress in typically very sexual women's clothing. Um, and they do it to have sex with men while dressed, and it's pretty sexual. So, um, so that's sissies and cross dressers. Sissies is typically very much a fetish kind of a thing. So I am on OnlyFans. That's right, at DevShell. So yeah, you can do that. I very much would like to put new um, content up on OnlyFans. It's just not something I've been able to do, unfortunately. Um, but I would like to, hopefully soon. Yeah, I've kind of seen that, Arlen. It's That's the thing though. Like if you're trans and you're dressing as a drag queen, you're a woman who's dressing as an exaggerated form of a woman. And I mean there's nothing wrong with that. It's just kind of weird. And again, whatever. You know, it's it happens. I was friends, my God, many years ago when I was with my now ex boyfriend Ozzy. We had this friend Steven, little Filipino guy, not a very attractive man, but he was a drag queen. And when he was in drag, he was Ashley Blake was his drag name, and she was absolutely beautiful, beautiful, stunning body, beautiful, very graceful, beautiful. And she would lip sync and dance. For her, it was less of a comedy thing like Head of Lettuce. It was more of a very serious, and she would sing and dance. And you know, and she was really good. And eventually she transitioned and dropped the male name and is now Ashley. She goes by Ashley Blake. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman. Well, she started in drag. I don't know if she still does the shows or not. I don't know. I haven't seen her in years, um, but there's that. Um, there are a lot of trans women who get to their destination through a lot of different ways. There are some who go through the whole cross dresser and sissy thing, and they go through all of that and eventually transition. Drag queens, the whole thing, it happens. Um, no one's journey, and I know how Vegas feels about the word journey, but no one's journey, no one's path, they're not all identical. There are a lot of different routes to get to the same location. Um, it's one of the reasons why I think certain things are weird, like personal, like I've said many times, right? I think that's weird. I think that's weird. Um, that doesn't mean it's wrong. It doesn't mean that they're not valid. It doesn't mean that they're not who they say they are. It's just they might be taking a route that is a little more unusual than others or a little less direct than others. Like hell, I was off and on hormones for 17 years. I'm not one to judge, the validity of somebody else's journey when my own was just so stop and go for so long. So, um, Ashley's story does sound similar to your friend. Yeah, I mean, and it happens, um, and that's fine, and that's fine. So, okay, Stephen James, what, whatever, I guess. Stephen James, you're a weird dude. All 9 of your kids think so too. So I had posted on Facebook that next year, next summer is hot girl summer, and somebody said to me, "I'm not hitting on you or anything, but you're good looking. You're hot, and it's summer, so it's already hot girl summer." And I was like, "Oh." So I explained that. Okay, Vegas, who are you talking to? Okay, Stephen James, I'm a woman, so whether you believe it or not, that's beside the point. Yes, redneck atheist. Yes, a feminale. A feminale. That's a Mexican female. Journey 3 times. ah, Journey, Journey, Journey. My favorite band is Journey. Yeah, feminale. Feminale. That's a Mexican female. Come on now. Everybody knows this. Okay, so I want you to understand, Stephen. I want you to take a second. I don't know what my chromosome, believe it or not, nobody knows what their chromosomes are. There are, because it isn't XY or XX. There are a lot of different variations. Believe it or not, there are a lot of different variations, and nobody knows unless they've been had them tested. Nobody knows what their chromosomes are. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Your chromosomes are not relevant to whether you're a man or a woman. That's not something that is determined by your genes, by your genetics. Because man and woman are social constructs. We invented that shit. We invented what it means to be a man and what it means to be a woman. So it doesn't matter what your biology says. So it doesn't matter. So no, I don't know what my chromosomes are. And I don't care because it's not relevant to the conversation. It's an irrelevancy that you've decided for some reason to ask about because people ask each other that. Has anybody ever asked you that question, Stephen? Do people ask you often? Are you like, online for coffee and somebody says, "Hey, what's up, man? What's your chromosomes?" I mean, is that a conversation you've had? I need to know. Answer me. Answer me. Answer me, Stephen. Like, oh my fucking god, the social constructs. It's a social construct. And don't give me that bullshit, Vegas. You know it is. You know it is. Who decided that women dress a certain way? Everything is, well, not everything, but yeah, most things that we surround ourselves with in the world that we move through. Yes, exactly. That's the point. That is the point. Which is why when somebody asks about genetics, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Thank you, redneck. Like, why even bring that up? The only reason to bring that up is to try to invalidate a trans person. That is the only reason to bring it up, because it's not relevant to the conversation. All that's meant to do is to derail somebody's identity, to invalidate them, to try to show them to be dishonest. That's why people bring that up. Stephen James, you bringing that up just makes me think that you're a complete and total piece of shit and a bigot who I should block. And since I have admin on the goddamn podcast, I might just silence you there every chance I get. Maybe. So, Stephen, I asked you a question. Please fucking answer it. He's too funny. Yeah, that's like on the goddamn podcast. They won't block him there either. Same reason. They're just like, he's funny. Like, yeah, he's a troll. He's an asshole, but he's funny. Don't be what way? Come on. You need to get it out, man. Justify your happiness to me. Do that. I like turning that one around. I look tired. Don't I look tired? I look tired. I feel tired. I'm like kind of blah. Yeah, damn it. Why do you deserve to be happy? Believe me, that's like one of the things I have, like these fantasy conversations, with my mom in my head. Like I create these, where I have these conversations with her. And in a recent one, I said, what kind of a parent would do whatever it took to stand in the way of their kid being happy? Yeah, it's not even midnight here yet, Arlen. But it's close. And that's not really late for me, but I don't know. I've just been really tired lately in general. Dude, I've moved on. I don't care anymore. I don't care. Whatever. So, what? Whatever, Heather. Anywho. Yeah, Arlen, yeah, same here. Um, the true, the true, true, true. Oh shit. Whatever. Whatever, Heather. Give you zero time. Dude, you've had like 20 minutes and you still didn't answer anything. Really? I didn't see that. If that was in that movie, I'll never see it because I ain't watching that. Now all that would do is make me angry. So you give time to the people that drink with you? It's so bad. I don't want to watch it. I can't watch it. I think I would get angry. I think I would feel attacked. And I think that is the desired response. Um, I think that's what they want. And I think I would feel attacked and I think I would get angry. And it's probably better I don't watch it. So, hmm. I don't know what you're talking about, Stephen James. Yeah, Vegas, I get that. I do. I don't know. I don't think I could laugh at it because I would feel attacked because it is an attack. Um, yeah, it's just why, you know? I mean, people like they're going after like trans people, and it's just like, um, the movie was called What is a Woman, right? Isn't that what the name of it is? It's meant to attack trans women. Um, I don't know for a fact because I didn't watch it, but I think it's meant to attack specifically trans women. Um, I don't understand. It's like, hey, look at this group of people that have done nothing to anyone. They're not hurting anybody. They're just trying to live their lives. Let's completely fuck with them and try to destroy their lives and their relationships. Like I don't understand what makes that happen. Okay, so being a trans woman has nothing to do with my sexuality. Like that's different. That is a different thing. Like there are a lot of trans women who are lesbians. So there's a valid critique against it all. Against what? I can see why it could feel like an imposition on reality itself to a point. What can feel like an imposition on reality? The broader movement, the trans movement, right? I that's something I don't understand. Like there is no trans movement. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, I think by saying the trans movement, I think that implies something that isn't true. Like the movement is a movement to garner legal rights and protections, right? To be recognized for who we identify as, who we are, right? That's the movement. That's what it's about. I think when people say the trans movement, though, I think it implies the recruitment of other people to build the movement. Um, I think that's how people see it. I think that's implied, and I don't like talking about movement. Even like the gay rights struggle, I always refer to that as civil rights. I don't talk about the gay movement because I think it implies something that isn't true. So if there's a valid critique against wanting equal rights, I'd sure as hell like to know what that is because that's what the movement is about. And I can see why it could feel like an imposition on reality itself to a point. I don't understand what that means either. What can feel like the reality that trans people have always existed all through history? Like this isn't new. It's always been. It has been accepted in cultures from the beginning of time. The only cultures where it has been an issue is cultures that follow an Abrahamic faith. That's when it's an issue. Because the resistance to trans people, the rejection of trans people, comes from trans. You see trans as harmful. That makes no fucking sense. Um, the resistance, the rejection of trans individuals is directly from religion. It's for religious reasons. There's never any reasons that aren't religious that hold. Well, there are no reasons to hold water anyway, but there's no reasons that make any sense that are not tied to religion. Because of society, Stephen. Because of people like you. The suicide rate is so hard among LGBT people in general because of bigots. That's not the trans people. It's not the LGBT people who are to blame. It's bigots that are to blame. Yeah, but even that's bullshit, though, Vegas. I'm an activist. Am I an obnoxious SJW harpy activist with green hair? Is that me? Yeah. Okay. Fine. You're talking about a small minority of a minority of a minority of trans people who they themselves are a minority. So there's like 6 people on the planet that are harpy, green-haired, annoying fucks that have gone viral. Therefore, the movement for equal rights is an imposition on reality. Think about what you're saying, Vegas. Like, I've spoken about this before. Um, I get really annoyed by trans people who freak out publicly when they've got a beard and they're a trans woman and they have a beard and they're balding and they're doing nothing to transition, and they go to the grocery store and the cashier says, "Thank you, sir," and then they lose their fucking minds. And it's just like, if you're not giving the people around you a clue, right, that you're trans, you can't get mad when they don't know. Stephen James, what the fuck are you talking about? You're in timeout, James, for 5 minutes, because that's just stupid. Seriously, don't come here with stupid shit. I'll time your ass out. Right. So when you have an extremely well-funded political party that represents about 40% of the American population lying about trans people on a daily basis in front of Congress, on the news, um, on every microphone that they can get to, it has an impact. It has an effect. And when those trans people speak up for themselves, they're ridiculed for it. So that's what you're seeing, Vegas. You're only seeing half of the issue. They ask questions the way Scientologists do, right? This is what they do. This is the latest tactic, and I know you all have seen this. If you haven't seen it done to LGBT people, you've definitely seen Scientologists do it to anybody who criticizes them. How long have you been molesting children? Answer that, right? Answer that. That's what they do. In my town, right, on the non-political Facebook page, the non-political page in my town, right, the name of it is Vernon Happenings, non-political. Somebody posted that there was a school board meeting coming up, and everyone who stands against the sex ed curriculum should show up to the school board meeting. So I pointed out that it was a political post on a non-political page and it should be removed. And I got a lot of pushback, and I was called a child molester. For wanting to enforce the rules of a Facebook page that a friend of mine founded. It's his page. For asking him to enforce the rules, I was threatened and I was called a child molester. And these people think that I'm the danger? Come on. Fucking nonsense. Yeah, Shane Forrester, if you're watching, let me tell you this right now. If you keep sending me messages saying, "God bless you, ma'am," I am not ever going to respond. Ever. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Never. It's not going to happen. My brother in Christ, listen to me. Saying God bless you. And saying God bless you is basically the same as saying go fuck yourself to me. As far as I'm concerned, you say God bless you, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck your God. Stop with the God bless you messages, please. I will just block you. I'll just block you. You won't have to worry about me not answering you. But anyway, that's what they do. That's what they do. You disagree, you're a child molester. One dude on that page, in a political disagreement on the non-political page, he posted in the comments a picture of my house. Dude posted a picture of my house in response to something I said. How is that not a threat? Right? That's, I know where you live. That's what that means. Yeah. That's what happens when you're LGBT in Trump country and you speak out. That's what happens. You're basically told to look over your shoulder. I got to put this up. That right there is the proper response. Oh, it is so hot. I am sweating so much. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cry like a bitch, but I'm crying like a bitch because it is so hot. Oh, I see them every day. Every day. Where I live, they're all over the place. All over the place. And a motherfucker in town he flies a flag that's half, it's on an angle, half Confederate, half American flag. And it's like, what is the message that you're sending here? Like, what are you trying to convey? Oh, not here, Vegas, not here. There's a lot of, and I'm in New Jersey. I'm in northern New Jersey, and there's a lot of Confederate flags here. A lot. People in pickup trucks, they have, like big 8-foot flags and stuff, Confederate flags. There's a guy right across the street. He has the General Lee. He actually has a General Lee, and he flies Confederate flags. Our state representative for our county has a Confederate flag tattoo, and he's very proud of it. And there's pictures of him showing it off, standing in front of a Confederate flag. So, yeah. Well, I am in New Jersey, which is famous for being a blue state, and Confederate flags are everywhere. So, people here think they're in the South. When I had my deli, there was a kid. He was a nice kid. He was a good kid. He came into my store and he had a Confederate flag flying on his truck. And I asked him one day why. And he says, my heritage. I said, you live in New Jersey? He said, my family's from down south. I said, but you live in New Jersey. And I said, and it's a flag of slavery, of treason. And he said, no, it's not. I said, yes, it is. I said, it is. I said, you're driving around flying that flag. You're basically saying, fuck the U.S. It's a flag of treason. The Confederacy fought against the U.S. Yeah, my heritage. You're in New Jersey. Yeah, neo-Confederate. There's a lot. There is a lot in New Jersey. A lot. It's scary. Warren County, New Jersey, which is the next county over, actually has active KKK chapters. And those are the KKK. And there's a lot of Nazi flags that fly in Warren County, New Jersey. So there's that. And in Sussex County, near the Warren County border, there's an old Nazi camp. It's an actual camp. It's now it's a public park now. They use it. There's ball fields and all kinds of stuff. But it was actually owned by Nazis. They held training and stuff there. Nazi troops that were from Sussex County. So so it's hilarious because we have our governor is a Democrat. He's on his second term. Um, he was just barely reelected, but he was reelected. And every time anything, I don't want to say that he posts on Facebook because I have no idea. I just know that it's Governor Phil Murphy, and there's a post, so it could be his, communications department. He could have a person that's what they do is they tweet and they post to Facebook and all that stuff. That's their job. But every time the account for the governor posts something on Facebook, within a couple of minutes, there's thousands of comments from white supremacists and Nazis, and you know, hollering at him by allowing gay people to exist, and allowing interracial marriage, and how he's terrible and he should be shot. And I mean, it's really, really bad. Um, it's really bad. Well, I mean, New York City isn't far from me. I'm not that far from New York City. I'm in New Jersey. The entire state is a suburb of New York City. I don't go as much anymore because I have small kids, and but I used to go into the city all the time because I'm that close. I could just go into the city. But it's hard when you have kids, and plus it's like $16 just to get in. Lincoln Tunnel, $16. To GW Bridge, $16. Take the ferry in, it's like $20 plus parking. But when I go into the city, I do take the ferry because I would rather park in New Jersey and take the ferry. That's so much better than driving around New York. So after the recent mass shooters. Now I'm in Sussex County, New Jersey. I'm about an hour, a little over an hour north of the Lincoln Tunnel. Redneck Atheist. Justice Thomas, the black justice on the Supreme Court, who is married to a white woman, thinks that the Supreme Court should take another look at interracial marriage. He doesn't agree with the Supreme Court's decision. I guess it's Loving v. Virginia. He doesn't agree with that. And he's married to a white woman. So it is actually on the Supreme Court's, it's on their plate to take another look at. That, contraception, gay marriage, they're going to revisit. That is the plan. They're going to revisit all of that now that they've gotten rid of Roe v. Wade. Like, really, Roe was in their way. Yes, they wanted to get rid of it. They wanted that, but it was actually in their way. Yeah, no, Nadia, it's not that far. Like I said, I used to go into the city all the time. What a complete fucking moron. Yeah, it makes no sense to me. Like, if he's really that much against interracial marriage, he should just get a divorce. Besides, she's a treasonous bitch anyway, so. Yeah, Vegas, it sounds like a shithole. I am like literally in a suburb of New York City. Like, you know, Vernon and Sparta are fairly, um, no, Sparta especially, um, are wealthy towns. Wantage. There's a lot of money here. That doesn't mean anything because these people are all bigots. So, yeah, I don't think so, Vegas. I mean, I don't understand that thinking. I don't understand, but we're not going to win. That's the thing. Like, Congress is in the middle of trying to pass legislation to protect contraception and gay rights, and because we're not going to win. Like, the justification that was used to take Roe down is the same justification they will use to take everything else down. And they have a majority. It's a done deal. Like, we're gonna win. We're not. It's done. It's done. They just haven't ruled yet, but they've already said what they thought. It's done. I don't understand why you can like not understand that. Why you don't see that. They've already said it. It'll probably be in the next session. Almost guaranteed. Setbacks. I don't know how you think. Um, yeah, because Roe relied on a right to privacy, and the Supreme Court has already ruled now that you don't have a right to privacy. Um, and the right to privacy is that's the linchpin. So, if you don't have a right to decide what happens to your body, then you don't have a right to marry who you want to marry. You don't have a right to contraception. You don't have none of those rights exist. The right to do what you want with your body, the right to privacy about something as personal as your sex life, your marriage, or a pregnancy. If you don't have that as a right, then you don't have any rights. And that's basically what the Supreme Court is in the midst of doing, is basically ruling that you have no rights except to shoot each other. Because, yeah, of course. Sorry. It's aggravating. It is aggravating. It is pretty shitty. It's pretty shitty, let's be honest. I don't, Vegas, people said, oh, Roe v. Wade is settled law, right? Roe v. Wade is precedent. It's settled law. Every one of the fuckers who voted to take it down sat in front of Congress and said Roe v. Wade is settled law. Can't be removed. I would never remove it. Can't be removed. It's settled law. It's precedent. And then they voted against it. So to say, oh no, it's safe. No, it's not. Gay marriage? No, not safe. Not safe. They will they will knock down gay marriage. They will. They will knock down any trans rights. I want to make sure I get all of my surgeries in before that happens, because I don't want to be told that I'm not allowed to do what I want with my body. Um, the the questions about trans rights, trans medicine, trans healthcare, those questions are identical to Roe. Identical. It's about your right to do what you want with your body, about body autonomy. Um, it's identical. So, which one is Lawrence v. Texas? And Vegas, I disagree. You can promise all you want. That's not based in anything. There's no evidence to support that. That's not based in anything that can be proven or shown. It's just evidently not true. It is apparently an incorrect assumption based on everything that we know. There's no reason to believe that we're going to make it. There's no reason to believe that's true. None. There's every reason to believe that we won't. And that's sad, but it's true. And that's what makes me crazy. And I've been saying it for years. I post it to Facebook, like people give a shit about what I post to Facebook. But what I say is stuff like, how can you tell somebody that you love them and then vote for somebody that is going to harm them? Mm. Thank you, both of you. Thank you. Thank you, Nadia. Thank you, Arlen. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know Lawrence v. Texas. Yeah, repealing Lawrence v. Texas. I mean, that alone is basically saying that the government has a right to be in your bed and decide who you sleep with or who you're allowed to sleep with. That's what that is. That's what that does. So that's very, very quickly uh, reshaping the country to resemble something more from the early 1900s than a modern democracy. And that's the truth. Hmm. All right. What time is it? It's 20 after 12. I'm going to go watch a little TV and then I'm going to pass out in that order. I'm going to do that. So, yeah. Yeah. All right. Have a good night. I will see slash talk slash shout at all or some of you again I am floating around the internet. The description, you will find the link to my Patreon. Please become a patron. Like I said, it helps pay for all of my girl stuff. And I will see you soon. I'll be back. And check me out on the goddamn podcast. Good night, everybody. And Vegas. Good night to you too. Night.